Alrighty, we got reward oversaturation for Apex.
We live in an age of video games trying to be as rewarding as possible.
Yeah.
And why shouldn't they? That's kind of the reason
Yeah, because video games are fun.
why we play games in the first place. Sure, you can bring out the old because it's fun argument, but you still have tons of people who play League of Legends, and finding a happy and mentally stable person who plays that game is like finding a four-leaf clover.
Oh yeah,
No,
been there, done that. I have hung up my League of Legends stuff many moons ago, dude.
people play it because of the grind and the process of the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not just
Yeah, but what light at the end of the tunnel? Your next rank up? You think the next rank up will make you happy? Probably won't.
bad games that do it. A ton of great games do it as well. You do something good, and you'll be rewarded by the game. You play enough, and a level up is provided as a reward. If you do something impressive, well, that's its own reward.
Yeah.
However, don't you think some games are overdoing it?
Yeah, bro. I remember playing Apex, and the very first time I got a one clip, it was with the R301 from like 60 or 70 meters out, and I was like, oh my god, I finally did the thing. After practicing for like so many hours and going at it, I was like, oh my god, that was a one clip. I was like so excited the first time. Every other time, it's just like, it's all downhill from there. You're never going to get that peak dopamine after that first one, dude.
Now, it may sound silly. How can you have too much of a good thing? Well, first of all, food is good, but you don't want too much of that. And second of all, let's talk about feedback for landing hits and killing an enemy.
Oh yeah.
In multiplayer games, it is standard to have feedback for managing to hit the enemy. This serves other purposes than cheap instant gratification, as you need to know if you hit the enemy or not. There are many ways to do this, whether it be simple changes on the character model you're shooting, damage numbers appearing above the enemy.
I gotta say, dude, like the one thing that is annoying is like when there's shit happening to the enemy. Like, I'm fine with the numbers popping up over their head. To some degree, I'm okay with like the little X hit marker, but that's here or there. I would much rather just like a hit sound or something. But if you look at Apex, whenever people have armors on and you hit them with a bullet, their entire body just glows. If you like, just take a look at it, like clip some of your own gameplay or look at somebody else's gameplay, and whenever they have armor on, like it turns into like a seizure inducing like thing of a bullet hitting somebody with armor on. It's so annoying.
Sounds that play on hit, what have you.
Yeah.
However, the most popular form of this is hit markers,
Yeah.
which is just putting another crosshair on your crosshair whenever you successfully shoot someone.
Yeah.
This was another mechanic popularized by Call of Duty in basically every modern FPS to this day. It's certainly a fine mechanic, uninteresting, but still functional and very popular to this day. However, this alone isn't the problem. It's how it's usually layered among other forms of damage feedback. Let's look at Overwatch again, because despite everything, I still have more criticisms for this embarrassment of a game.
Oh, who doesn't?
Not only does Overwatch have hit markers, it also has health bars akin to a MOBA, which also fits better for the game in general. However, combine these two forms of feedback, you have more visual clutter in a game that already looks like an incomprehensible mess.
Oh my god, you like showing me that and me actually paying attention now? It's actually like ridiculous. I never put two and two together when I started playing Overwatch. And yeah, because didn't Borderlands have something like this? Borderlands, I think they had like health bars over like the enemies, and I think you had like a hit marker. I think I'd have to go back and play it. I don't remember. But it's different when it's like a PvE game versus a PvP game. PvE game, it's like, okay, sure, like just drown me in feedback. Great, I don't care, whatever. But when it comes to like a PvP shooter, like some sort of any type of like multiplayer thing, whenever you're playing on MK, one of your goals is to reduce the amount of visual clutter on the screen. I mean, if you're good, and you can like separate it for the most part. But I would say the vast majority of people that play like shooting games are probably like average to like not so great. So they don't have like the skills, like the mental like wherewithal to separate like everything that they need to be doing whenever they're shooting somebody. And I don't know, it's just another speed bump between the player like just playing and enjoying the game.
Apex Legends is also another game that feels like it's worsened for the addition of hit markers, as it already has dead numbers and generally, again, feels like a visual mess.
Yeah.
With these games, you can cut out the hit markers and the game would instantly become more bearable to look at and overall would play better.
I mean, to be fair, I think in a lot of these games you can turn off the hit markers. But if you're like looking at it from like a new player perspective, they probably wouldn't even know that that's even an option. The option is just on by default. Probably because it's like the industry standard.
One final example of hit markers being shoved into a game that doesn't really belong is Halo. In previous Halo games, damage would be indicated by the enemy's shield starting to shimmer. It wasn't a perfect system, but did the job well. However, 340 decided that taking mechanics from Call of Duty is a great idea, so naturally, hit markers were also put into the game.
Yeah.
And when you combine these two mechanics with a new team machine, yeah, it's another visual mess. What the heck did any of you expect?
Yeah.
However,
I can kind of see what you're talking about now, at least with Halo. You got like the armor, the hit marker. What else? Were there numbers? I wasn't really paying attention.
Hit markers that cause an oversaturation of feedback. Kills also seem to get a similar treatment. Kill feedback used to be simple. You shoot someone and you kill them.
Yeah.
And you would see your kill in the kill feed. Maybe accompanied by a kill sound or even a medal if you did something special. Nowadays, we have a bunch of games that just flash a bunch of dumb stuff on your screen when getting a kill. The most obvious example of this is Valorant. Where you get this medal appearing on your screen and noticeable kill noise. And it's just... why?
I haven't played much Valorant, but I know what you're talking about. There's like that gigantic thing down there. I don't know where the Valorant kill feed is. It's probably like in a corner or something. And then you got the map over somewhere else, and then you got like all your abilities down here. You got your guns down here. Yeah, I get 100% what you're talking about, dude.
I mean, I get it. Some people just want more of that instant gratification, but it feels like it's too much, especially when compared to its competitor Counter-Strike, where the most you'll get is a headshot sound and a small visual change at the bottom of the HUD.
Yeah.
Another example is, once again, Overwatch. It's not as great as Valorant is, but did you really need the flashing skull when you kill someone when there's already a notification of who you just eliminated? Again, it's just more fuel for the visual clutter fire.
Yeah.
But that's enough of me being the draw of hero shooters being bad. Let's move on to another easy target. Call of Duty.
Oh, jeez.
The number of medals you can get for a regular...
Oh, this is gonna be a layup, dude.
...kill is just unreal. If you want a good example of how absurd it can be, just watch this video by Video Game Donkey. It's funny, and it demonstrates my point very well. Now, it doesn't really cause too much visual noise. However, there's another problem that we'll get into later.
Honestly, dude, I stopped playing Call of Duty years ago. Like, I just realized it was bad. I wasn't having any fun anymore. Like, I used to like Call of Duty, but just, I don't know. It's just like a downhill spiral at this point for me.
Let's go back to Halo Infinite, which doesn't have a problem with visual noise, but rather actual noise. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The AI announcers are just annoying in general.
Wait. Let me see this. Whoa.
Rather actual noise.
Okay. This is actually just kind of funny to look at when you pause it like this, because you have your reticle and you did have a hit marker there. You're taking damage, so there's going to be some sort of like damage indicator. Obviously, the guy's in front of you. You got 100 points for doing a thing. You killed the guy right there, and then you have another indicator, like all of this stuff on the side of your screen. More visual clutter. God forbid, like somebody else swing out from behind like this. Wait, what is this? Ah, Hollow Soldier? Or is that like your name? Why do you need to see your name?
I'm not gonna.
Oh, okay, that's the kill feed. So you killed him there, and you killed him there again, and you got a medal. And since you turn this way, you're taking damage from the right now. that that is a bit much, dude. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing as devs, dude?
Sugarcoat. The AI announcers are just annoying in general. We are
Actually, I got no problems with the announcers. However, I get where he's probably gonna go. Whenever you have something, whenever like in a PvP like FPS type of game, and it's like this arena thing, like with Halo or Apex or anything where footsteps matter, you're trying to hear footsteps the entire time. So whenever you have any external sound like invade your ear that isn't footsteps, like gunfire is fine. Like gunfire and footsteps and like grenades or whatever, like I guess abilities, and maybe like call outs. Like I could go down a list of like a ton of like audio things that just happen in an FPS. But honestly, the only things I really care about, and I don't know why more devs don't do anything about this. Like you can have so many customizations for just your reticle alone in like Valorant or Counter-Strike or whatever, and even Overwatch. You can just customize this. You can cut like you go into the settings menu. You can customize everything about the game, like what color it is, like what you want to display, your graphics, your this, your that. But when it comes to sounds, what do you have? Max volume, up and down. That's it. That's all you get. Max volume. You as a player, I don't think the devs can give the player enough credit to try to let the player decide what they want to hear. And I don't know. I think that would be a huge step up for, like if you're trying to innovate on like a multiplayer FPS, let the give all these options to let players decide the sound priority in some of these games, even if it's like a 200 item list, 300 item list that you don't think players would be at all interested in like customizing. Just at least give us the option. Because like just right off the rip and not thinking too hard, as a player, I want to hear footsteps, maybe gun sounds, maybe grenade sounds, maybe abilities, and that's about it. It's nice that you have the iconic Halo announcer. I think he's great, but if you're trying to get like some sort of like medals or something like that, it's like I can kind of get it where it's like, oh, I would have got that guy if I heard him coming around the corner, but nope, the announcer was going. But yeah,
already have a regular announcer just has a good job of announcing cool stuff you did. Why do we need this Borderlands character chattering in our ear? And they also announce what their weapons are. So if you want to ditch them, enjoy the tactical disadvantage against everyone who is sweating 9
oh wait. Is this like modern Halo Infinite? So you have like the announcer in your ear shouting out like double kill, triple kill, like all that stuff. But then you have this announcer down here, like a subtitle, telling you like the hill's ready. This is ready. This weapon is ready. Like telling you the spawn is up. Bro, if that's the case, god dang, that is so many things to be like keeping account of. It's jeez. I did not know it was like this.
Mirror bullets. but this is all small stuff in terms of rewards.
I mean, yes, it's all small things, but again, when you start stacking it up, like a ton of small things, eventually there's going to be like a threshold where it's going to be like, this is too much. Why am I playing this?
How we go into progression systems? Well, it can be said that a lot of modern games over-reward you in terms of regular tasks. As for long-term progression, that simply isn't the case. The most infamous example of this is once again Overwatch 2, as the game was heavily criticized for removing the previous progression system and removing level borders and loot boxes.
Yeah.
These seem like small things, but believe it or not, people care about being properly rewarded for their dedication to the game.
Yeah. So when you have like your standard bell curve, of like 0 to 100, and then 90% of the people fall in like the bell curve, and you got your little 5% on the outsides. I would say when you're on the outsides of the bell curve, you don't give two shits about like the progression system, the itemization, because you either suck at the game and you're not invested enough, or you're just a professional in the game and the progression system just doesn't matter to you anymore, and you don't play it for the progression system. You play it because you're a professional player, you play your game at the highest level, so on and so forth. But for everybody else, the big chunk of 90 percentile, like 90% of people that fall in here, they care about a progression system. They like that shit, dude.
This is why battle passes are so popular despite the complaints,
Yeah.
as they give the player something to work for. And take it from me, it works. Despite
Yeah, I will say this. When I was playing Apex, the thing that initially roped me in, because I had no experience with battle passes before, I played Apex for like a year or two, maybe 3-ish, like two and change, let's say. I would just play the game, and I'd like every season I'd be getting better and better, get a higher rank every season, and I just enjoyed completing the battle pass. But there just came a time eventually where I was just like, why am I doing this to myself again? There's like a threshold, it seems.
how poor Valorant's progression system can seem compared to other games, it was one of the main reasons it managed to keep me in its clutches before my computer's poor performance stopped me from playing it, which in retrospect was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
But you read the
Yeah,
time.
since I stopped playing Apex, dude, I've just been enjoying my time just playing other games. There's just something about like multiplayer FPS ranked that just sucks the life out of you.
Title of this video. We're not talking about progression systems giving you too little. We're talking about progression systems giving you too much. Enter Fortnite, one of the most popular and influential games on the market.
I mean, but to be fair, I think a something you can distinguish between are the thing that like FPS does right is that at least they don't like seldom are there any forms of like pay to win like cosmetics or interactions that you can or microtransactions that you can do in your favorite like live service FPS. Um, you could kind of make the argument of like some skins are like completely black, or this skin on this gun makes the gun really really small, and you because of that you get like more field of view, you can see more. I mean, yeah, kind of, but not really. If there was like some sort of microtransaction, like let's say you buy a battle pass and at the end of the battle pass it's like, oh, you get like the R99 +1, and the +1 means it does like one more damage per bullet, and then all of a sudden um you got like the no life people that just grind the battle pass. It like they get it done instantly, and then they have this like super pay to win type gun. Then what are they gonna do? They're just gonna roll around the lobby and just shit on everybody. Uh, so I'll say this: at least FPSs. I mean, and there's probably a little bit of exceptions here and there. At least FPSs don't really engage with much in forms of like pay to win.
Why is it so popular? There are many reasons, but one of the main ways Fortnite has taken over the world is its revolutionary progression system. It basically invented the Battle Pass, and arguably has the one that gives the best value for its price. It isn't
Nice.
stingy of how fast you can go through it, unlike Valorant, as Fortnite has plenty of different ways to gain EXP. While Valorant requires you to burn through a ton of time to complete its challenges, Fortnite gives you XP for simply existing. That's not much of an exaggeration. You get extra XP for going to new locations, for getting enough damage from certain weapons, for the hefty number of daily challenges, and for extra pre-selected challenges at the start of the game. I probably missed a ton more. Now this is commendable compared to a lot of modern games. Rather than force you to turn the games into your new jobs, Fortnite is a
Yeah.
lot more generous. However, this leads into another problem of how satisfying the feedback is. And this is where we're going to go back to the COD example.
I mean, even though I don't play Fortnite, I can respect what Fortnite has done to revolutionize like how the battle royales are being made and produced and like let out over and over again, because they were one of the, maybe they weren't the first one but they damn sure did a good job of like polishing up to everything. And because I think what before Fortnite it was like H1Z1 and PUBG, right? And then a couple other ones before that. But god dang, when Fortnite came out, they just popped off, man.
The main thing these two games have in common are feedback systems of medals and XP respectively. If you have too much of something, it effectively becomes meaningless. It's a natural rule that having more something
Yeah.
devalues it. Just look at how the Weimar Republic tried to solve its monetary crisis by printing more money, only to dig itself into a deeper grave. If you get a bunch of medals all the time, Call of Duty, what's the point? It's no longer impressive. You're just getting reward for doing the bare minimum, and the allure fades. This is less
Yeah.
of a problem in
This is even more of a problem in Call of Duty because of the previous, at least Call of Duty titles, because Call of Duty every year it was a new Call of Duty comes out and it's like, okay, new COD, new gear, new COD, new set of guns to grind out, new set of medals and skins to grind out, which isn't terrible, but I don't know. I just gave up on COD so long ago, man. And I get what you're talking about, like that you start just getting too much too quick, and it's like I'm just it starts to look like a slot machine with how much shit you get on the side of your screen somewhere. It's like, oh, you got this. Okay, this kill. Okay, it was like a crouching. It was an aim down sight, crouching hip fire, sliding ADS, and jumping kill, and it gets a little ridiculous.
Fortnite, as getting XP ends up giving you more levels on the battle pass, but you still have problem rating in moment-to-moment gameplay. It may start to be exciting to see all the stimuli for doing certain tasks, but eventually it becomes mere background noise. Another thing to consider is what happens after you.
Bro, what is this item? This thing is OP, dude. You just walk around, you have cover, and all you just popping out is your arm, like the smallest hitbox, and you're just destroying people.
Complete the battle pass. What do you have left? There are no levels to show off like in previous games, so where are all that XP going now? Nowhere. It's all just meaningless at that point. And while the grind may have been fun while it lasted, there's nowhere really to go except for to wait for the next battle pass.
Yeah.
Am I saying that these games should try to deprive the players of rewards? No, as there's a balance to be had between giving the players rewards, but also having the restraint to not give too much. And one game has a reward system that not only doesn't try to overload the player with stimulus, but also provides adequate rewards for their efforts. It's Timefall 2.
I mean, yes, I'm gonna refer back to like the too many rewards. Like for the most part, games are marketed towards kids, and like developers just want kids to play their games, dude. It's like, I mean, I used to be like this back in the day. I used to be a kid, and but like back when I was a kid, I would always be attracted to the games that were like the most flashy, the most colorful, the most sparkly, noise, dopamine inducing, type of games. And like even just like in that last clip, like opening a random chest,
adequate rewards for their
like,
efforts.
It's shiny, the shine like gets huge, and you get like sparkles, and you get this like little blip of loot. It's like, here, take this. It's like, yeah, like why do the stars need to be there? It's like you got this big chunk of like 100 XP chest, and it's like you can't just go out throughout the game and not get bombarded by reward like feedback. It's like, ooh, stars. I want more stars. I mean, yeah, and it's like, are there players out there that are just literally flocking to, like, I mean, at least the FPSs that give the most feedback, or at least reward feedback? I mean, if you're trying to like compete against like Fortnite, I mean, good luck, man. I mean, yeah, you could like amp this up, but then again, it would probably be like super, like just like sparkles and like streamers and what do you call it, like rainbows and like colorful fog oozing out of the chest, and it's like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing when you when you loot like this simple, like little wood chest. I mean, there's always going to be an arms race for developers to keep the attention of people, more specifically kids, playing their games.
It's Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 was made by the same developers as COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2,
Yep.
and it shows. Throughout multiple matches, you're given multiple reasons to keep on playing the game. There's the obvious weapon progression that Call of Duty is known for, as you continually unlock weapons along with getting attachments for your new ones, but there's also new kill bonus rewards along the way. Not
Yeah.
only that, but you also have plenty of cosmetics to unlock due to the game having a price tag and not holding good cosmetics hostage under an
I mean, but then again, Titanfall 2 is all, or Titanfall just period, is no stranger to having a bunch of visual clutter and reward feedback just when you get a kill. I mean, there were hit markers there. That's your reticle. That's where you're taking damage. You're taking damage from outside, or you're not taking damage. This is a grenade indicator right down here. Who you killed, you just got that. Before, there was like a little bit right there where it was like it was contributing to the percentile of like your Titan meter right there. You have this. This is like some of the worst visual clutter. Like, Jesus Christ. And I like Titanfall, dude. Like, you have like, what is all this, dude? Look at this. What is this? It's you got this red glow, and then you got these like little hexagons. It's like, okay, calm down, game. I know I'm taking damage. Chill.
game store. Maybe if you have a cool skin, it's because you earned it. All of this sounds great. So what's stopping every company from taking this model for themselves? First of all, it's too consumer friendly. You've already scared off the suits when you mentioned earning skins for free. Secondly, it could only really fit in a game like Titanfall 2, as the weapon unlock system only really works in a game with this amount of loadout reliance.
Yeah.
And thirdly, the free-to-play model kinda throws a monkey wrench into all of this. Almost every big multiplayer game now has adopted the free-to-play model to some extent. And it's
yeah, but because the free-to-play model works. You know, it's kind of hard. It's a hard sell for an FPS game to, you know, come out with like a campaign, like a fully fleshed out campaign, a fully fleshed out PvP like system with like maps and like loadout, like guns and grenades and abilities and all this shit. It's I don't know. It's just seemingly a hard sell nowadays because it just works. You know, you want to give the players the path of least resistance to playing your game, and that $60 or $70 chunk of change for at least like a mainline title is like, that's a huge speed bump to some people.
Actively making sure certain styles of games or systems cannot function. Halo Infinite is the best example of this. It's a major part of old Halo games was unlocking new armor, which is completely undermined by the free-to-play model. This continues with every other game, as the Battle Pass has made sure that the reward system must be made around it.
Yeah.
From the XP system to the reliance on getting people to grind before a new pass is gone. However, you still need the extrinsic motivation to keep people hooked on the game before they get their scheduled dopamine hit. That's
Yeah.
all the other feedback cause. Because kids love all these flashy distractions. Just
Yeah.
look at the success of short-form content. All dopamine, all around.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, there's also more than one game trying to vie for your attention. And they're all free. So guess what?
Yeah.
You gotta keep them around so they don't leave. So every game just keeps trying to use everything in their power to get your attention like your split-screening Subway servers.
Yeah.
Alright, whose idea was this? Whatever, we need to wrap this up because this video has already derailed. Overall, with how much more games try to reward the player, it ends up doing the opposite effect and making all that feedback seem meaningless.
Yeah. Essentially, it just makes all the rewards seem meaningless because you're getting them seemingly so quickly. It's going to depend on, game to game, but it's like with all the visual clutter, all the notifications popping up, it's like things happening on the screen. Yeah, I get it.
At least for me. I generally wish we could have more reasonable rewards instead of just throwing everything at the player at once, but then again, this might be a me problem. And anyway, does this even matter all too much? Not really. If you like Fortnite, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop you just because the XP gain can be obnoxious. But every once in a while, when I see a new Valorant skin with the dumbest kill effect possible, it just makes me wonder, how did we get here? And how do I build a nuclear bomb? Thanks for watching, tell me what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.
Nice.
Get out of here.
Nice one, dude. For sure. I think it depends from like what game you're playing. I'm a fan. I like it. I dig it. I think it really depends from game to game with how much reward saturation that you're experiencing. And like if you're tired of playing a game, honestly, dude, I would just say just take a break from it. Give yourself a mental break from your favorite shooting game if you're too lost in the sauce. But no, I like the video, man. 100%. I want to see more. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.